Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bite Size Panel Edition, where we take a quick but deep look at the human condition at home, at work, everywhere. I'm your host and show creator, Peter K. Weiner. I'm also a MAPS business coach. And today we have a panel of two joining us who are here to discuss today's topic, which I will reveal shortly. First, let's welcome Jay Wiley, internet marketing and advertising expert, retired Baltimore police officer, and creator and host of Law Enforcement Today radio show and podcast. Welcome, Jay. And let's also welcome once again business owner, real estate investor, and business coach, Jake Clendenning, to today's bite-sized panel. And of course, our first-time guests always go first. So Jay, just if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, maybe something that we don't know about you, which is pretty much everything at this point.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it very much. My name is John Jay Wiley. I'm retired Baltimore police sergeant. I was hurt and retired at a very young age of 33 due to a permanent line of duty injury. So technically, I'm physically disabled. And I also was diagnosed many years ago with post-traumatic stress. I don't call it disorder. I call it an injury. Mm-hmm. And some people say that's disability too. Doesn't really matter to me. It's what the hand I was dealt, and I don't consider myself disabled. I certainly don't consider myself handicapped whatsoever. And I've been able, with the help of a lot of people, to start picking and choosing the kind of life I want to have. And it's been really, really good.
Thank you for that. And I really appreciate you sharing that about yourself. And Jake, tell us a little bit about yourself. We've seen you on here a couple of times. Maybe throw us a little nugget of something we don't know.
Something we don't know. It's great to be back again, Peter. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be on with Jay today. I am a MAPS business coach on the transformational side. I'm also an NLP master practitioner. I was a professional archer for a number of years in my younger life. Things that we may not. I'm still an archery fanatic, but I actually shot as a professional for a few years there in another life before children. So there's something that other people may not know about you.
That's great. What a fantastic skill. You know, if people believe in end of days, you'll be prepared. So today's snippet is entitled Jumpstart Your Day. And no, it's not a Wheaties commercial. In it, we will explore how a few simple habits in the morning can set us up for success during the day. Let's take a look at this clip and see what happens. All right, let's roll it. We are each a product of our own belief system, and this applies across the board, whether it's your business, your personal life, your relationships, everything. So what you tell yourself every day, your brain interprets as absolute truth, and your subconscious is completely literal. It doesn't know the difference between the truth and a lie. So what we tell ourselves every day can easily become a self-fulfilling prophecy, whether that's our intention or not. And you can believe that your truth not only impacts your day, it sends out a clear message to the people you make contact with and affects how you are perceived. And you can bet the success of your business will be affected by that impression. If you feel like a victim, guess what? You will be. If you're angry at the world and put that out there, you'll have no trouble finding a fight. So, when you wake up in the morning, do you want to be scared, angry, overwhelmed, dreading the day? Or would you rather be motivated, grateful, joyful, embracing the day, excited about the day? Well, the answer seems obvious, but facing the day that way doesn't always come naturally. And many of us feel we don't have a choice in the matter, but we do. Now, I don't expect there are too many people out there ready to jump out of bed every day and hug everyone they meet, but I will say that the chances of having the day you want are much higher when you start it off with gratitudes and affirmations. And there are all kinds of ways to do it. What I do is I fill out this little app called the 5-Minute Journal every single day before I get out of bed. And just by doing that, I wake up looking for things to appreciate, and it changes the shape of my day. Gratitude changes the shape of my day. And you can do gratitudes any way you want, as long as you're looking for the things in your life that you appreciate. And it can be simple. You might say, I appreciate my dogs, running water, or my hair looks good today. It doesn't matter as long as you truly appreciate it. As far as affirmations go, there are 1,000 free videos on YouTube you can listen to for half an hour, or you can compile a list, tape it on your mirror in the morning, and tell yourself the things that are going to get you where you need to go. I am compassionate. I am excited. I am influential. Well, it may feel a little bit like a cheesy SNL skit when you start, but so what? I recommend that you do your gratitudes and your affirmations for 66 days in a row. You'll see changes in your life that you never thought possible. And you're not going to know unless you try. All right, let's open it up and dive a little deeper into this. Let me start with Jay. We always start with our new guests. What was your main takeaway from this?
First of all, I love the reference to Saturday Night Live. I couldn't help but think of Stuart Smalley Saves the World when he talked about the positive affirmations.
Absolutely.
And to me, that is a natural response. I think everyone in my family thinks that too. But the truth is, positive affirmations, daily affirmations work. And for many years, I used to have taped on the mirror, there is a God, I'm not it, and he or she doesn't need my help to make the world go round. And when I realized that, it took a lot of the pressure off that I just got to show up and do my part. Each day, just show up and do what I can do. And the rest, the outcome is in someone else's hands.
That's an excellent point. I like that. It frees you up to have your own day and not take the burdens of the past, of your own past and other people's burdens. Jake, what was your big takeaway?
I love Jay's example there. That was really cool of just it's allow it to be in somebody else's control, right? Just let go of that. That's really powerful to be able to do. So I love that. I wrote down a couple of things. So one of the things I love most about the concept of this is the day is your choice. How you show up in that day is your choice, right? Of all the things that we may not feel like we have control over, we absolutely have control over that. And it's a very freeing thought for me anyway, in the fact that, yeah, I have absolute control over how I show up in this day. So I thought that was really a good one in this message.
Yeah, it's really interesting to hear both of those views because Jay starts off with, I'm not responsible for the result. I'm only responsible for what I can do. And then you kind of take it to another place of, I am responsible for the day and how I show up. So Jay, let me ask you this. What do you specifically do in your mornings to set yourself up for success?
The very first thing I do in the morning is, and this may sound really stupid to people, is what day is it? I try to focus on this is the day because my days are scheduled out. And what do I have to get done today? But also the secondary part of what day is it? It focuses me on the here and now and the baggage of the past, which can crowd its way into my today. It's a way of pushing it aside. So looking and focusing on what I have today is one of the best ways I get my day started. Then the little secret is, for me, I take about an hour before I have to go anywhere. I do my social media scheduling. I have coffee. I have quiet time. I don't talk to people. It's a time for me, not so much to reflect, but to be still, be quiet, and get the little things done that I have to get done before the world gets crazy.
That sounds great. And I've, a lot of successful people really value that early morning time that you're talking about. The time that you own, the time to really get your head straight. And that makes sense. But I love the simplicity of what day is it? Just simply, what day is it today? Not, oh no, I don't want to get out of bed or whatever the negative thought may be. You're focusing on a different thought. That's great. So Jake, what do you do in your mornings to set yourself up for success?
I've got a couple things. I love the time block day. Like you said, it's so simple, and it's refreshing that Jay is bringing a different perspective to this, right? A very simple, and yet we know that's what it takes. We know that it's super simple. Because my day is already time blocked in this way, there is not room for baggage of yesterday to crowd today. That, I loved it. For me, I start with a gratitude journal. I physically write mine down. And I do that on purpose to not use the app on my phone so that I'm not immediately plugging into something electronic. That's just a choice for me. My handwriting looks like a chicken with a Krylon can, and nobody can read it. And yet it is still probably a more tactfully appropriate way for me to journal every day. And I make sure I write down 5 things that occurred in the last 24 hours that I am grateful for. You know, very small, the right now, much to Jay's point of making it small. What's today? Same thing in the last 24 hours. What am I grateful for? I can be grateful for bigger things, but it makes me very focused in moving forward with that one.
Yeah, I like those parameters. And I've actually, since I made this video, I've gotten more specific with my gratitudes in the morning as well. And I am physically writing them down. My new rule is don't ever pick the same gratitudes twice. And take it a sentence beyond. I'm grateful for this because. Anything else besides gratitudes that you do in the morning? Either one of you that sets up your day and sets you up for success.
It may sound corny. I pray a little bit and I try to keep my mind still. It's very non-denominational prayers, but it's a way of getting me out of this and focused on what's in front of me. It's very simple. Very simple prayers I've been taught. I've been doing for a long time. Again, when I talked earlier about a lot of people helping me pick and choose and build a new life, they taught me these things to do early on. And what they're designed to do is to free me from, for lack of better words, the bondage of self. And the inside of me, and I think most people, I have a little nasty, mean, ill-tempered prick of a guy that will tell you, you suck, you'll never amount to anything, no one would be interested in what you got, blah, 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 why even bother?
Right.
See, I need to find relief from that guy. And for me, prayer and it's not complicated prayers, it's not complicated meditation, but quiet time goes a long way at getting relief from that little guy and telling him to shut up.
Oh yeah. In the Keller Williams world, they call that the drunk monkey. And in the IPEC world, which is another coaching technique, they call it the gremlin. So yeah, it's a very real thing. And I have a video on that. And maybe I'll invite you back for that one when we show that one. What about you, Jake? You have another process that you add to your gratitudes to ensure that success?
Yeah, right after. I mean, I do my gratitudes and I go and I make the coffee while the coffee's brewing. I'll stretch and I'll start exercising. And I've got about a 10-minute exercise routine in the morning. And it's a body weight exercise thing. And it's mostly just designed to get physically moving, right? Just unstuff the joints, get the blood flow moving, have a glass of water, just to Jay's point, right? Not let the crowding of yesterday, like if my body hurts from yesterday, that's yesterday's baggage. And this will actually allow me the moment to let that baggage go, to be able to exercise and just stretch that out and go, great, I feel better now, I'm good.
So it sounds like gratitude, sweat, and prayer and meditation. Jay, let me ask you this. What was life like for you before you developed these morning rituals, these ways of coping with facing your day?
It was horrible. To be quite open and honest, the amount of brutality I experienced in policing really damaged me mentally, emotionally, in addition to physically. I've had multiple surgeries, a couple steel plates, and people can't really tell, but I have almost no movement on my right hand wrist as a result of that. And it impacted people that are important to me. My daughters, my first marriage dissolved. It was drinking till I passed out at night. It was nightmares. It was mood swings. It was depression, everything that goes along with that. And I think it's important for people to understand when we use terms, like I said earlier, post-traumatic stress, I consider it an injury, not a disorder. Because what happens is we buy into a mindset of what it's supposed to be like, and we answer yes to people's stereotypes. So I don't do that. I'll say this. It was, I could barely eat. I would go and I would be not hungry, and then I'd get hungry and start eating, and I get nauseous. And if someone provided food, it was even more of a mood killer. So those are things I had to learn and find ways to adapt from and stop fighting and learn how to live with it and get a good life. And as a result, I have no problem eating now, no problem sleeping. Exercise is not a problem. Being in a good mood is not a problem. Being motivated is not a problem. But that guy is still here. So I've got to recognize he's still here and say, how do I build my life as a result of it?
Yeah, and thank you for sharing, because it sounds like the obstacles that you've faced are no small feat. Overcoming that is no small feat, and I appreciate where you are, and I appreciate what you've done and the hard work you've put in to get there. So, Jake, I pose this to you: what was it like before these rituals? What was your life like before these rituals?
Recently, my wife answered that question for me as we were
Unsolicited
information, right? Kind of. So I used to jump to anger quickly. I had a short fuse, if it even existed. I refer to that as construction, Jake, because that was a whole different person at that time of what the things that I was doing, the tasks that I was doing. And to the point of this, I would get up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. I feel like crap. My body hurts. And I would reach for a Mountain Dew. It would be the first thing I would do in the morning. Like, that was it. I started with, and I got to the point of having, like, and I'm not kidding, 2 gallons of Mountain Dew a day is what I was drinking. That was my coping mechanism, is what I was doing, which led to esophageal, what would you call it? Erosion is what it did. It gave me a hiatal hernia. Thought I was having a heart attack. I'm like 35 years old. I think I'm going to die. And it was because of bad habits, just bad habits in the morning. And when I changed that, I got rid of that. I started drinking water, and I started exercising in the morning and stretching. And you feel funky when you start the affirmations, I'm worthwhile, and that kind of stuff. It feels really dumb when we're doing it, because there's this masculine, and Jay said it, right? I wrote it down, was we buy into the stereotypes of other people. And this is where that one hit me like a brick wall, man. It came out of nowhere, that's true, because I had this, I got to be a guy, I got to be all manly, I don't need to do affirmations. And I mean, how selfish of me to say that to myself, because they've had a profound impact on me. And because I show up better, I can show up better for other people now, because I'm not buying into that stereotype, that label someone else would have put on me. It's just not manly to do that sort of stuff. It's not true.
So I'm glad you brought up the Mountain Dew thing, because it's getting into these, I'm not going to say lazy, but getting into habits that don't require a whole lot of introspection to develop. So to actually get introspective and think what's going to be healthy, what's going to be good, it may feel awkward making the transition, but both of you are great examples of the success of making those choices and sticking with those habits. This is a strange question. I'm not sure you'll have an answer for it, but Jay, what's your favorite gratitude? Do you have a favorite one?
I'm not dead. I'm alive. And I say that, it sounds sarcastic when I say that, but during my police career, I was in 4 shootings in 10 years where people tried to shoot me. And the first 2, I never fired a shot back. The second 2 were horrible affairs. And thank God everybody lived. But in the last one in particular, the guy was trying to shoot me with my service weapon while still in my hand and had to turn towards my face. And as simple as I had a thought come to me, this man is trying to kill me. And that's a very deeply personal thing when someone tries to do that. This guy's trying to kill me. I'm going to die, but it's not going to be tonight. And it's not going to be because of him. And then I would love to tell you that all of a sudden, life got better. It didn't. It got real worse. And the big enemy became me towards myself and destroying the life that I wanted to have. So now, today, the fact that I'm happy, I'm alive, and I'm reasonably sane all the time, look, I don't need a whole lot better than that. I'm a lot older than I thought I'd be in my late teens. If you asked me at 18, what it'd be like to be 62 like I am now, forget it. I couldn't imagine. My grandmother was 62 and she was ancient. She was a walking, talking wrinkle, one of the toughest women I know. But the thing is, I don't feel like her. So I'm alive. And there's a lot to be said. There's a lot of possibility for today because I'm alive and I can do things.
Love that. And it's so basic, but it's true that we forget that, we often forget that. And, we've all been through our own trials and tribulations. Most of us probably not as intense as what you've been through, Jay, but it does bring to mind, who we are now, and the connection there is really that we're here and that we stay here and that we're happy to be here. So I like that. It's on such a deep, visceral level, but simple. So I pose the same thing to you, Jake. What is your favorite gratitude?
Well, gratitude is different. So my favorite affirmation that I use all the time, much to the I am alive, is I have always gotten and will continue to get everything I ask for. And to break that one down a little bit to the morning routine, right? If you get out of bed and first thing you say is, I just feel like crap. Well, what is the universe going to provide you? Every reason for you to feel like crap for the rest of the day. So that's what I ask for, I will get. And I know that's true. In the past, I've had, certainly not. And Jay, we're grateful for your career. And I am so grateful to have the opportunity to talk to you and spend time with you today after the career that you've had and the things that you've been through. For me, it was when I was in construction, how I showed up for the day is exactly how I asked to show up for the day. When I make decisions of, I'm going to go and be, a real estate investor. Well, if I make the activities and if I ask the right questions to move forward, that'll move that forward. Same is true in coaching. When I ask clients to get there, I will get the answer of the question that I ask. So it's just important to know, if I'm not getting the result, I'm not asking the right question. Is where this has come from for me for a long time. And the gratitudes, it's little stuff. I mean, I stay focused in that 24 hours piece, much like the gratitude for Jay today. That's going to make the journal tomorrow.
It's true. I mean, what Jay has brought up is it's so deep and so heavy that it feels like a gift to us, because we can look at our lives and say, well, he's climbed Mount Everest. I can climb Mount Whitney. No problem there. So let me ask you this, Jay, what did you get either from this conversation or from the video that you didn't expect today?
The number one thing I got from this is that first I met Jake. Peter, I've met before, is that we all struggle with the same sort of things to some degree or another. And if I can take time to get beyond me, beyond how life affects me, and do a very simple thing of, what can I do to make the day better for my wife? What can I do to make the day better for Jake or for Peter? It kind of puts me in touch with the world, and it lets me know I'm not alone. And the problems I have, look, they all got solutions. Some will be solved today, some will be solved tomorrow. The problems I got today were not the problems I had 20 years ago. Those were serious issues back then. And most of them were not self-inflicted, they were aggravated by me. So what I get from this is that I'm part of a big group of people that have been there, and they can help me. There's a common thread between all three of us. It's not a matter of degrees. It's that we're all starting at the same point. And you know what the point is? And it sounds stupid. It's a Saturday Night Live skit. I'm good enough, and quite frankly, people like me. Even though if I don't sometimes, I gotta just put my nose at a grindstone and do it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. So Jake, what about you? What did you get from today or from the video that you didn't expect?
It is self-beneficial to be vulnerable with other people, because there are similar experiences, much to Jay's point of, we all get out of bed, same time in the morning, sometime in the morning, we get out of bed, we have the same thought patterns of how we're going to address our day. And this particular group is making a choice of, I'm going to be the best version of me that I can be today, so that it best serves my wife, so it best serves Peter and Jay. When I show up at a high level and I bring that energy, it shows up everywhere else. When I want somebody, so it goes back to my affirmation of, I get what I ask for. If I want Peter and Jay to show up in a great way with awesome energy, I have to show up that way too, because that's the question for them. is how do I need to show up? Well, he's showing up that way. I can show up that way too. So that's what came for me today, is be that example. And it's okay to be vulnerable, because we've heard this question asked before. The right question asked at the right time will change somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
Same is true of a smile. You open a door for somebody. Those types of gratitudes, paying it out, can change somebody's life just by switching it for them.
Yeah, we've all addressed the deeper points, but you bring up a lighter point that sometimes when you're looking back at your day, it is something small, like, someone held the door open for me, or, I was at a traffic light and there was somebody in a sports car that could blow me away. And I looked over and they just kind of smiled at me and went like that. The light turned green. It's a small thing, but it gives you hope for yourself and it gives you hope for humanity. That's for sure. Any final thoughts before we wrap up today?
Don't let the struggles and the pain of your past interfere with building pleasant memories and histories for you and your family today. It's not the big thing, it's the little things. Handle the little things and the big things will take care of themselves. That's my closing thought.
Love that.
Well said, Jake. Well said.
Well said. And we will leave it there. Thank you, Jay and Jake, for being on our panel today. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. We will be back again next week to explore showing up. We will see you all then. Thank you guys so much. It's always great to have, two people from different parts of my world meet. So I'm glad that opportunity came about on this show. Jay, you have an open invitation. Anytime you want to come on, and maybe we can pop on your radio show one day.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
All right, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, Peter.
Great job. Great meeting you, Jake.
Great meeting you, Jake. Talk to you later.